Hey guys, we all know that the opening of bass season is a great time to replenish all of the things that we may have gone through over the previous season. It's always nice to have some new gear, fish some new techniques, and be ready instead of having to get ready for the new tournament season. I just finished placing very large orders with 6 Sense, Amazon, as well as local tackle retailers so that I'm going to be fully prepared for this tournament season. We're going to get into this stuff right on camera, and we'll see you in a sec.
Oh my God, there's so much stuff.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Alan and you're watching Crooked Hooks Fishing, and as you can tell from the intro, we've got a lot of tackle to unbox. Now normally when I do a tackle unboxing, I like to go through each individual piece of tackle and do a sort of an in-depth on each bait and why I got it. Because I have so much here, what I'm going to do is just a basic tackle opening. I'm going to show some of the more interesting baits and stuff like that. But then I'm going to do some follow-up videos breaking down the baits, why I got them, what I'm going to be using them for, and why it's important that maybe you should have a couple different options in these as well. I'm not saying it's a complete necessity, but having the options there is very, very exciting. I've got stuff from, of course, from 6 Sense. I'm a diehard, but I also picked up some great stuff from Amazon, and I also was very fortunate to have a custom color made for me from a local tackle maker, which I am very, very excited to show you. But what I'm going to do, we're just going to start getting into this stuff, and we'll go from there. So I'm just going to grab the old handy knife. And I'm going to actually keep this one off to the side. We're going to start with this one. And we'll see what we got. This is a box from 6 Sense. This is a smaller order I did. I love to tell you what was in here, but I don't remember myself because I've been waiting for all this stuff to come in so that I can actually open it on camera with you guys. I'm going to try and keep the video length down, but you know me. So we got our bag. Oh, yeah, cool. I forgot. I ordered another hat. Actually, these are a really great hat. This is the 6 Sense branded hat, but this is the what's called the Fish Light Mesh. You'll notice that she's almost transparent all the way through, but that doesn't stop this from having an SPF rating of 50 plus. So this keeps your head nice and cool, reflects the heat. It's going to be great on the kayak. So, you know what? Let's just, oh, that's a little tight. Ooh, almost squeezed my brain out my ear. What the crap? All right, let's try that. Oh, you know what? That's super, super comfortable. I like that. That's going to be nice out in the kayak. I'm not going to have the old head sweats, which is very, very good. Because you don't want the head sweats out there. If you have padded hats or foam hats, unless they're a fish light material or anything like that, you can actually build up a whole layer of sweat on your head, and it can actually be more of a detriment than an actual benefit because you can dehydrate much faster. So make sure your hat is breathable. The more you know. So this is just a basic restock. All right. So I got a couple deep diving jerk baits because I didn't have anything that went down into the 10 or 12 foot range. These are the Provoke 106 deep divers, and that's the 4K bluegill on the top, and I think it's the Ghost Bone shad on the bottom, Ghost Bone minnow on the bottom. I wanted a color palette that's geared more towards Canadian water. And I think both of these are going to be very, very good. So those are good. Those jerk baits will go down anywhere between 9 and 12 feet. So they're going to get down into the deeper water as the bass begin to push out. Oh, I had to get some more of the crubs. The crubs seem to be one of the favorite baits that everyone seemed to like. And this is a really nice color. This is called the Bedfish Glow, and it's actually a translucent fire orange on both sides. And it's only like 3 inches. So it's small enough for a Ned head, but you can Texas rig this, you can drop shot it, you can put a weighted tube hook in it. But the crubs, I've got about 4 or 5 different colors in the crubs, but when I saw the Bedfish Glow, I knew I had to get those. These are the new 6-cents Finesse Jig Heads. And these are very small. It's a 3-piece is 3/16 of an ounce with a 1/0 hook. So this is for a very small profile. These are good for crappie fishing, but don't be afraid to throw these with smallmouth. And something like this, I want to have a little bit of a smaller profile. So I'll put the Limestone Lures 3-inch ripper, the little rib kicker, on those, because it has a lot of action. It's durable. It's a little more chunky and keeps that smaller profile. Had to get some Dropshot Baits. These are the Glitch and the Ghost Ice Minnow and the Plum Dawn. It's hard to tell. I'm going to pull one of the Ghost Ice Minnows out. But these little Dropshot Baits, come on, zoom in on the bait. Not my face. There we go. So it's just got a little molded eyes, little molded body. It's got a fluked tail with a couple little fins and appendages. Just hook it through the nose on a drop shot and let the fun happen. If you don't want to shop internationally for these, like these obviously I get from Willis, Texas, but the Limestone Lures Ripple Worm is a really, really good option because it has the fluked tail as well, and it's got a good size profile for a drop shot. So make sure you're checking that out. And then I wanted to get some weedless options. Now these are the Axle Finesse Jigs. Now one of the videos that I'm going to do is going to be all about weedless baits, so I'm not going to get too much into these. But the Axle series of baits from 6 Cents uses a proprietary hooking system. And I'll just show you the back. So what it has is a swinging hook and a swinging bait keeper, which allows you to transpose the hook into the baits to make all of the Axle series tackle weedless. Completely weedless. Your jigs will be weedless. Your swim jigs will be weedless. Your swim bait heads, weedless. So you can throw it into any amount of cover and get that reaction strike without having to sacrifice, you know, picking weeds off the hook every 3rd cast or getting hung up or whatever. The Axle series, I'm going to be doing a video on these so you can see them actually in action and how to rig them. And then I got some keel weighted swim bait hooks. Those are 3/8 of an ounce and they're 7/0. These are big hooks. Big hooks. And a lot of you were going, what in the crap are you hooking on there that requires a 6 or 7/0 hook? Well, this is where my buddy Jeff at Limestone Lures comes into play. Jeff came out with some large swim baits. Now, if you know me, anyone who knows me knows I love throwing large profile baits. I love throwing big jointed swim baits. I love throwing big plastics. You know, the bigger the better. I like to aim for the quality bite, not the quantity of bites. So when I saw this big swim bait that Jeff made, I immediately got a hold of him and I said, I need that swim bait, but I need it in a bone color. Straight bone. I've had great success with the bone color. You can throw it in any water condition because it creates, it's almost like a staple profile. You can use it in murky water, clear water, dark water, at night. It doesn't matter. The bone color just seems to work, and it works for me. Now, I'm not saying it'll work for everybody, but it will work for me. So I messaged Jeff and I said, look, I need this, da-da-da-da-da, can you do it? And boy, oh boy, did he do it.
Nice.
Look at those. I'm gonna get one of these out because this is pretty awesome. This is the Limestone Lures Duke swim bait. So it has the split belly. It's got a nice slot on the top to hold that, transpose that hook. Really nice soft plastic. So this is going to get a lot of action. Realistic eyes. Jeff did a wonderful job on these. And this is called the Duke, and it's a 6-inch swim bait. Now, for those of you who use keel-weighted hooks and smaller swim baits, like the 4-inch size and stuff like that, and have wanted to try fishing large baits, like the big jointed swim baits and stuff like this, I highly suggest that you start with something like this. This will give you the a feel that you're used to, and it doesn't require a lot of finesse or technique to use. Throw it out, bring it back. These are a fantastic, fantastic option. You can pick these up at limestonelures.ca. I think yeah, it's right there, limestonelures.ca. Handmade in Kingston by our boy Jeff Dix. Jeff, thank you so much for making this color for me. I cannot wait. Cannot wait. Let's open the Amazon package. Now this, I know what's in here. I know what's in here. Now, anyone who's fished for a long period of time and know about the granddaddies of baits has heard the name Heddon. Heddon baits, these guys pretty much pioneered the torpedo bait, your crawler, and your walking stick bait. If you look at any other company's versions of these baits, they all harken back to the Heddon baits. And the one particular bait that I didn't have in my arsenal was a crawling bait with the wings on the side, and that gives you that side-to-side action. And I figure if I'm going to get a crawling bait, I'm going to go for the granddaddies. I'm going for the ones that are tide tested and true to form. And these are the Heddon crawlers. This one's in bullfrog and this one's in green crawdad. And these are going to be amazing topwater options. The other great thing about these is you don't need heavy gear to throw these. These are the 2 3/4 inch models, but they do make a Heddon tiny crawler, which is a 1 3/4 inch crawler, and you can throw those on spinning gear, straight to braid or 15-pound mono or fluorocarbon. You're going to do a moderate, medium to moderate slow retrieve, and these things are just going to waggle away in the water. So I wanted to get some of these for topwater season, and it's nice to see the availability on these. I got those off Amazon, and they have all of the Heddon stuff. They have the tiny crawlers, they have the crawlers, they have the torpedoes, and they have the super spook walking baits. So if you have the time, just type Heddon into the Amazon search engine and you'll be blown away by what's available right there at really, really great prices. This one is the big one. This one is a big one. Now there are a lot of repeat baits in this, but there are some brand new baits here too as well that have just come out, and I wanted to get my hands on them. I'm going to keep this pile separate because I want to do an inventory on this to make sure they didn't miss everything. So, let's start. Well, we got soft plastics. I know I got some soft plastics. I got a lot of soft plastics, actually. These are the whale swim baits. I got the 3.5 inch and the 3-inch swim bait. Now, these swim baits are a little different than your traditional just round swim baits. These actually have a molded head, fluked fins, split body, and a dorsal fin that you can transpose the hook into. These are what I run on keel weighted swim bait hooks. I don't use these as trailers. I don't use these as stuff for utilitarian purposes. These are basically, I got these to swim alone. And the reason I like these is because they have that realistic profile with the side fins and stuff like that. I just get better bites. If I'm going to be using trailers and stuff like that, I want something with a little more of a flippy action on the tail. Not to say that these aren't soft, they're very soft, but I really want that chunky flippy action, and that's when I'll use the Limestone Lures low rippers or my Divine swim baits. So it's good that we got those. Remember how I said I was going weedless this year? Okay, and we're back with a charged microphone this time. It's a couple days later, so I have to remember where I left off, but I'm pretty sure I left off at the weedless. And I invested heavily into weedless. So we've got jig heads, hybrid jigs, swim jigs, and a whole bunch of swim baits, all using the TACKLE technology. So I've got a bunch of different swim baits. Got some shad colors, some nice natural colors. This one because it's gold and was cool. Then I also have the bottom jigs. These are all hybrids and, hybrid and weedless. But then I also got just the plain jig heads too as well with the swinging axle technology. Now, I wanted to get these because I just wanted to maintain that weedless presentation, but I wanted to have a larger profile bait. I'm going to be throwing probably 4-inch swim baits on the tails of these. On the smaller ones, on the 1/4 ounce ones, I'll probably run the 3-inch rib kicker because it's got that really good action. Again, check out Limestone Lures for those. The larger ones, I'll be running probably a 4-inch Divine swim bait from 6 Cents. It'll just have the more streamlined presentation and the larger presentation for those. I also wanted to focus on my deep cranking too as well, because I didn't have a lot of deep cranks that went past the 15-foot mark. So I wanted to make sure that I had something that could really deep dive once the bass push out. And so what I got is the Cloud 9 series. Now the Cloud 9 series of baits, and these aren't small cranks. These are big crankbaits. Really big. Really big. And basically it goes C6, C10, C15, C20, and C25. The C25 can get down to, well, 26 feet. C20, you're looking at that 20-foot mark. C15, you're looking between that 12 and 19 foot mark. C10, respectively, C5, you get it. But I have a lot of C6s and C10s, so I can get down to that 12 foot mark. But I did not have a lot of the C15, C20, and C25s. And I just invested in a cranking rod specifically for these deep diving cranks. I'll be running a 20-pound fluorocarbon on those. It's a little heavy, you would think, for a crankbait. But when you're throwing a crankbait that's almost half an ounce, or what is this? No, 1.6 ounces. Yeah, these are stout baits. These are really big baits. And the amount of drag that they're going to have, I don't want to lightweight on these. I want to make sure that, you know, I'm going to be able to get down there, still feel the bite, but still have the strength to bring those baits back up. I'll be doing a video on deep cranking and deep fishing in the coming up. And the last thing I got was the new Busa worm. This is a 9.5 inch, 9.6 inch ribbon tail. This is a new bait from 6 Sense because they didn't have a ribbon tail worm before, but this is a 9.6 inch ribbon tail. This color is the Plum Dawn. So you got that dark side there. Yeah, focus on the bait. Focus on the bait. There we go. So you got the dark side on the front. That nice plum side. Jesus. Focus. The nice plum side on the back. And then it's got the ribbon tail, but then it has this little dongle on the end of the tail. It's got a ribbed tail. And what that does is it gives a little bit of extra water displacement with the tail. So that way you're going to get that really whippy action on the tail as opposed to it just straightening out and going along. This is going to flutter around and spin around a little bit. I got that in the Plum Dawn, and I got the, what one are this? The Plum Fleck, which is a really dark purple. Right there. And then I'm pretty sure I got the green pumpkin juice, but yeah, green pumpkin juice. This is the fruitcake green pumpkin. It's just got every color of flake, like imaginable in a green pumpkin base. So I got that. Already saw the swim jig heads. I'm trying to think if there was anything I missed. I did pick up a couple of the trace swim baits, but I got them in the 5-inch trace, not the 6-inch trace. You'll see those in an upcoming video that I'm doing about big baits. So the way I'm going to break this down into multiple videos is I'm going to have one video just on weedless, because I know a lot of people fish weedless, and you know, a lot of people would like some different presentations other than a keel weighted hook and a swim bait. And in that video, I will really go into the specifics about the Axle series, and I'll also be talking about L-shaped square bills, which are basically weed cutters. So you can actually do some cranking into light to moderate weed cover. I'm going to be doing a video on big baits, so you're going to see big glides, big plastic baits, big jointed baits, hard baits, soft baits. I'm going to cover as many as I can, and I'm going to have a lot to showcase for you. And we'll go into a little more depth about the Duke swim bait, the 6-inch swim bait that you saw from Limestone Lures. And I'm going to be doing a video on deep fishing, the deep cranking, and fishing deep once the bass have pushed out in the heat. Give you a couple different options on how to fish for those deeper fish using traditional methods and cranking methods. So you'll have a little bit of something to go on once we get into July and August. And that's where those big worms are going to come into play, those big C20s and C25s, those crankbaits, and rigging methods for these baits, whether it's going to be the hard baits or the soft baits. I want to be able to cover all the bases as best I can. Again, my word is not gospel, but I'm hoping I can pass on some of the knowledge that I have picked up and some of the tricks of the trade that I have picked up too as well. Other than that, guys, that's all I got for you today. Remember, if you like the content, as always, guys, please hit like and give me a subscribe. I can use all the help I can get. Special thanks to Limestone Lures for making those dukes for me. As I get more tackle in, you know I'm going to unbox it with you guys. So again, that's pretty much it. I'm going to have to sort all this stuff out now and hopefully get some of this stuff wet before the tournament season and get some of these bigger fish to actually bite. Again, I'm the type of angler that goes for the quality bite, not the quantity bite. I know it works if I want to catch dinks all day, but this is why I have a lot of tackle, so I can target that quality bite, and hopefully I can get you guys on a quality bite too. But until then, I will see you guys in the next one, and as always, keep your heads above the water. Take care.